knows exactly what I'm doing right here, and I can get you in this defense, and I'm going to short motion somebody just to manipulate you, and then I'm going to hit Edelman for 6 yards and a first down, and we're going to move the chains.
Right.
Drew Brees, game manager. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Manning, game manager. That's what we really want as quarterbacks. We don't want dudes who are going to go 30 for 30 like Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
I want a guy that can get in there and manage the clock, manage the team, put me in situations that will make us successful, not throw picks.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And
everybody hated about that.
I've always been, kind of on that opinion with you, and I don't know if it's just the coach in me, but I like an Alex Smith a lot more than, for example, a Brett Favre, who, Brett Favre is going to make those 4 or 5 throws a game that he really shouldn't, and he's like, I just trust my arm to get it in there. And most of the time they don't pay off in the NFL.
No. And we're lucky we have a guy that can do that, because I know what – we have this issue now in Kansas City, and thank God that Justin Hoover is in Kansas City so we can go fix everybody. As a high school coach, we have this dude here, 15, who can run around, have no platform, and has the arm strength to throw a ball 65 yards across his body to a guy on an out-breaking route, right? Throw a corner from 65 across the field. Unfortunately, we have high school quarterbacks that are like, hey, I can do that. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't watch 15. It's like all the kids who saw Steph Curry shooting threes. Now every 7-year-old who goes into a gym puts a 40-footer up first shot. We're going to have the same issue here in Kansas City. The quarterbacks go like, hey, coach, on flood, I can really throw the backside post. No, you can't.
Yeah.
There's one dude.
Don't try it. That's it. Don't do it.
And when you do that, I'm going to go try to get some money together and send you to Coach Hoover and have you broken and fixed and realigned your thought process of, hey, the 3-yard out is safe. Let's take it. First down, move the chain.
Yeah, a lot of things that and you can see between Mahomes being he does a lot of that stuff now, right? It's crazy stuff. But the thing is, Andy there's a lot of stuff that Mahomes wants to do that Andy doesn't let him do.
Right.
I saw a thing that Mahomes really wants to try the around the back pass, which he does in practice. And Reed has, I think in a game he actually will do that at one point. But but Reed's kind of been like, I don't know about that. But I think the thing about having Smith in front of him for 1 year was that he really helped him get some of that IQ up. As far as like, okay, this is the NFL. Corners are a little bit better. Safeties are a little bit better. They will jump that route. And you'll be toast. So, but yeah, I hear just saying all those kids that look up to him and like, yeah, I can do that. I can do the left-handed pass, or you're right-handed. I could do it. I could do it.
It was funny last year, or was it last year or 2 years ago, when right at the game after Mahomes had done that left-handed pass, we were at practice that next week or our coaches meeting or something, and Coach Hoover was talking about, all these guys coming in to spin it and talking about, oh, yeah, I'm going to throw that left-handed pass now. And he's like, no, you're not. We're just going to work on fundamentals here. Let's get that down first.
Do you think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes' mom talk a little?
No.
Okay, Andy says to Pat's mom, Miss Mahomes, hey, you need to tell him he's grounded from that. Or,
no,
he's grounded from making that left-handed pass. You know what? We haven't seen him make that left-handed pass since then.
But Mom tells him he's grounded from running. That hadn't worked.
Yeah, I'm glad. Mahomes actually, as far as his little run game goes, he's really smart about like where he picks his spots to kind of take it and take hits, and then also go out of bounds. So
he was Facebook stuff's been rusher loaded last year, wasn't he?
Do what?
He was kind of the leading rusher last year, at times at least.
There was games. We were fishing for our running back. Our running game ended up being better playoff time. But, some through the games. We reached for, we tried to see if LaShawn McCoy had some stuff left in the tank, which actually we tried it. It was okay. It didn't work. He wasn't even active for the last, I think, 6 games or whatever. But anyway, so you think about that too. That's another reason why we drafted this running back was, we kind of need another guy. Damian's really kind of stepped up, but Damian's also 28 years old. He got about a couple more years left in him. Running backs hit that age 30, and they're kind of done. So, but yeah, a lot of the quarterbacks you were talking about, we're going back to the interception thing. A lot of guys have turned into kind of game managers. Even when we talked about Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers' picks are way down because he's 36 and he knows, like, hey, I got to pick my spots or whatever. A lot of these gunslinger guys, they actually don't make it in the NFL. So nice to have old Andy Reid around for that.
And I really think that there is a correlation to low interceptions in quarterback play if you look at their tight end. Look at teams that have a really good tight end, and then look at how many picks those quarterbacks throw.
Ooh, yeah. Let's break that down a little bit.
Now that I never really thought of it that way, but I would bet if we did pull up the stats of, the best tight ends in the league, I bet their quarterbacks do throw the fewest interceptions.
Let's just take the top two right now because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's Kelsey and Kittles. Right?
Yep.
Where was Jimmy G on picks last year? Let me go. Here.
I don't know off the top of my head.
He wasn't terrible.
Yeah, obviously went to the Super Bowl.
But you have a run game and you have a pass game, and having a tight end in this league is essential. Look at Seattle just went and got oh my goodness, the gentleman from Carolina who was there forever,
Olsen.
Yeah,
right. Another great tight end. Right? Look, the Ravens just got another tight end. Now they can go two tight ends. They can go. Come on, the Ravens can go 22 personnel.
Yeah, Garoppolo had 13 picks last year, but his quarterback rating is 102, which is pretty solid. Yeah.
So interception, right? your lowest interceptions last year, Mariota, which he didn't play a full season.
Right.
I bet it might be right. Well,
Nick Foles, Bridgewater, which they didn't play full seasons either.
Well, Rodgers.
See, so Rodgers had
who was his
4 picks. I don't know.
Who's the Green Bay's tight end last year? It's not Graham. Is it Jimmy Graham?
No.
Yeah, I think it was Graham last year.
Was it Graham?
Oh, it was Graham.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Graham.
So yeah. So you get to watch. You're working at Arrowhead in one of the suites, but you kind of get to watch Mahomes, in person a little bit.
No,
how
really
awesome
watching.
is it? Do what?
I'm really watching.
Yeah. So, just how awesome is it to be out there every week, and the atmosphere, and then the celebration that you got to be a part of. Kind of after the Super Bowl and after things had kind of settled down before we were on lockdown.
It's unbelievable. Working out Arrowhead and working in the suite that I work at, I'm right in the end zone. So I'm on all 22 view all the time, which as a coach is like your favorite camera angle is from behind. So, we talk about it as coaches as the butt cam. Like, we get to see where the butts are and how they're moving. Like, I think that's fantastic. So I get to watch that. But then I get this time from 9 a.m. to about 9:45 when dudes are walking out by themselves and getting themselves ready. My end zone happens to have the opposing team all the time, so I get to watch, the best of whoever's down there. And then to watch these guys warm up and be so diligent at how they prepare their bodies, that's fantastic. And then you get to watch the stadium fill, and it starts to get crazy. Then, it's 11:45, and it looks like there's nobody in the seats because we have 50,000 people who decided to get away from the tailgate at 11:45 for the noon game, and let's all walk in at the same time, which happens every Sunday.
Guilty as charged.
And then you have the fabulous national anthem that ends in "Home of the Chiefs," and that feeling. Then you get to feel the fireball from the listen, there's no way I could play in today's NFL. Not that I was good enough ever. But I ain't running through no pyrotechnic fire thing. Like, please don't put the flames up as I'm running through, because I would be scared to death. I could just be the one dude that melts down. Like, because all that plastic, and I don't think any of those uniforms are flame retardant. Yeah. So that freaks me out. But then you have the fireball, and then you have the crowd, and then you get to watch it, and you get to watch your favorite team every week. This is the same suite I was in when we were going through the, Todd Haley, Herm Edwards 2-14 debacle when no one knew that we were playing football out there when our quarterback was Tyler Thigpen. So, right, the true dual threat
He's a man, great third string quarterback. He's great,
fantastic, And then we got some dude named Croy. Anyway, we go through, and then now with this. The game against Pittsburgh a couple of years ago when we had the touchdown, then it got called, and then the 2-point conversion to call it called back. That's the loudest I've ever heard the stadium. And then last year, 2 years ago, when we had the D Ford offsides, that's the like I was in shock, like, oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And being in that, and then to hear the deflation of we're not going to the Super Bowl because we're going to overtime because all of a sudden now this is a first down. And then this year, I told people, I said, listen, if we win today, I'm going to go get champagne, and I'm spraying everyone in here. Just so you know. I'm going to spray the fans. We are popping bottles because I waited a long time. I'm 48. It's been a long time since Super Bowl IV. Mm-hmm. Long time. We end up winning. I get to be out in the crowd. We're pouring champagne over people. People walking by pouring champagne in their mouths. I mean, it was just fantastic to have that childhood dream of watching your favorite team have a chance to go to the Super Bowl and win it at home. And that's just something I will always cherish and just know that that's it. And then to have to win it, to have my family around me, my grandson, my mom's on the phone, and us just going crazy. My brother lives in Portland, and they have a Chiefs bar they go to. Mm-hmm. Okay? There's a guy from Kansas City who has a bar up there. And so all the Chiefs fans in Portland, there's about 100 of them, go up there to call my brother, to have my mom, on this dual FaceTime thing and going crazy. And my grandson just running around screaming, not knowing why he's running around screaming, but just knowing that he's running around screaming because we're all doing it. He doesn't get it, but we just won the Super Bowl. I freak out every day that we did that. Like I freak out every day when I know that my quarterback is Pat Mahomes.
I was gonna say, isn't that crazy to have that guy, especially after all the other quarterbacks we've gone through, and to have that dude. Really, the last quarterback we had that could potentially bring us to the big game was like Trent Green, early 2000s, where the offense was super dynamic and the
Joe Montana had us in the AFC Championship game.
Joe Montana's right there. Really, the last two quarterbacks that could take us the whole way is Trent Green, and then Montana. Montana could have got us there too. I really feel like with Trent Green, if the defense was good, anything, we actually probably would have got one because he was lights out when they talk about his numbers as far as touchdowns and yardage. Mm-hmm. He's like first. He's either first, second, or third in the league almost every single year he's here.
And the other thing, like when my wife and I first started dating, we had Elvis Gerbach as quarterback, and I explained to her watching Elvis Gerbach, it was like when you were in third or maybe fourth grade, you finally got the chair that separated from the desk; it wasn't attached.
Yeah.
And you would lean back in that chair, and you would get that one point where it was almost too far, but you were almost safe, and you had that little horrible feeling in your stomach because you might flip backwards. That was like watching Elvis Gerbach take a snap.
What an analogy right there. Yeah. Holy my God.
Because it could be fantastic or it could be a complete cluster.
Yeah, and the thing that didn't help him was that he was a jerk. I think I remember one of the first interviews he had, they asked him something about barbecue, and he actually was like, KC's not that great or something. And everyone's like, boo. He was a jerk. The guy's a jerk. Who was that quarterback? What was he, a quarterback for 2 years?
3, something like that.
3? Weird. Like a few years where it's weird, where we have this like weird rotation where we go from, what does it go? It goes Montana to Bono, Montana to Bono to Gerbach, and then to.
Well, we remember we had Steve Gannon.